Hello, Leonardo Cornejo here with another video. And this role was supposed to go to Daigo because he's the least serious of both of us. But I haven't figured how to make it work with him. I I'm scared of of burning my PC to death. I didn't like how much heat it got when I was running OBS with this. So and with Daigo running too. So and I in general didn't like that there was um it wasn't synchronized. The frames got lower than they get already by default when I'm running this way. Basically, I didn't like how it went when running Daigo, specifically with Palworld. And with Warframe, I will check with other games. But basically, I didn't like OBS. I haven't figured how to record otherwise. I'm currently using the built-in Xbox recording thing because I didn't like how it worked with OBS. So, well, until then, Daigo is in the background. He's not playing, but I do want to eventually shift this part, and I want to do it regularly. Shift this part to Daigo and focus on the serious stuff. But today you have me doing this here, and also because I wanted to make this personal, because I want this guy known on Twitter as Detroit Otaku to know that yes, I am playing and I am enjoying it. Because he insists I didn't play this game even though I bought it, that I don't like it, that it is incomplete. You know, all the shit that they say about Palworld that is not true. In fact, I would say this game is mostly complete. There are some features which Pocket Pair advertised and they haven't released them yet, which means it is incomplete according to them, not me. But if you sold me this game at the price I bought it, it was really cheap. If you sold me this game at the price I bought it, and told me that's the game, it's complete now, it's done, no more game, no more development, don't worry, it's complete already. If you sold me this game um, as a complete game, I'm trying to fix a mistake I made a while ago. Let's see if it works. If you sold me this game and told me it's complete, it's already done. Alright. I can't fix the mistake, it seems. If you told me this game is complete now, you can develop it. I mean, you can play it. It's already done. If you told me that it's complete, it's done. You don't have to worry anymore. The mistake will stay. There is an invisible, and I'm trying to get rid of it. There is an invisible foundation tile here by mistake because I was trying to build it here, but I had built this one here, and it stuck here by mistake. If you told me this game is complete, not counting some of these bugs, I hope I can figure out how to get rid of this someday. Not counting more than bugs, human errors, because it was my mistake. Not counting human errors, which are you can work around them. It's not that bad. It's not that big of a deal. Not counting human errors, this game is complete. This game is ready to be sold. And it's a good game. It's a legitimately good game. It's fun, it's entertaining, and it is ready to play. Well, back to how it was, because I can't fix it. Maybe we'll never be able to fix it, so let's just go. Let's just go. My mistake. I didn't look properly. I made a wrong move, and that's how it got stuck there. But it's not a big deal. It's not ruining anything, so it's not a game-breaking issue, and that's the point. The flaws it has are not game-breaking. The game is good. The game is enjoyable. It's playable. I think it's mostly complete. As I said, there are some features which Pocket Bear said they will release, that they plan on release still, and that they are holding back on calling it a complete game until they are released. But everything else, I do this whenever I am overloaded, because it's easier than dropping the items, and faster dropping the items. It is mostly complete. Pocket Bear already gave a release date. Everything is basically ready. Yeah, I made a custom difficulty game. I am not going to tolerate the the food spoilers thing. I know some people like the difficulty. I don't like it, specifically in that. And I am thankful with Pocket Bear because they allow you to customize that, because I really don't like it. I in general don't like item depletion. I don't like food spoilers. I don't like weapons getting damaged or decaying. I tolerate that one. Because it's fun to some extent. But the food spoilers thing, especially when basically it's as fast as a day, not even in real life. That's the thing. Not even milk goes bad in 24 hours of not being refrigerated, unless it's an extremely warm weather. But for example, in relatively cold weathers, well, cold compared to Mexico. Remember, I live in Mexico. It won't go bad in 24 hours of not being refrigerated. And I think even in Mexico, it doesn't go bad in 24 hours of not being refrigerated. I know for experience because of the electricity issues in my house, which are mostly fixed now, but I spent 2 days without electricity once, and the milk was still not sour, so it doesn't go bad that fast. So I found it annoying, and I played it for a while with the food spoilers feature. I found it annoying and reverted it. Because I don't like annoying things. I don't like annoying and tedious difficulty. I like difficulty that presents a challenge, that makes you feel overcoming this is the reward of suffering it, because it's a challenge. Like hunting the mammoth, figuratively speaking. Well, literally too, but that's a separate matter. The thing is, I found it extremely annoying. That feature, I found it extremely annoying. It bothered me a lot, so I just didn't want it. I just didn't like it. I still have the ice pals every now and then from back when but I could actually dispose of them when I unfortunately still had that feature on. I really hated it. Long term, I hated it. No, you don't go there. Why are they storing those there? What's wrong? Wheat, lettuce. Why are they storing those there? Flour. They aren't working on the flour, I guess. As I was saying, I didn't enjoy that feature, so I just removed it. If you don't like something, you shouldn't be forced to keep it. I know that's somewhat controversial with people, but I think if you don't like a feature, you have no obligation of keeping that feature. If it's annoying, if you don't like it, just throw it away. You don't have to keep a feature that you don't like. Again with the X. God fucking damn it. I'm at wit's ends with that. I'm at wit's end with that. I will change the settings. Alright. Here. Yeah. Then they can't store the X there. I will have to change everything. So I was saying, my patience for that was low, so I changed it because it wasn't enjoyable. It was an annoying difficulty issue. It wasn't an enjoyable challenge. I like challenges. I don't like tedious difficulty. Many developers don't understand the difference between challenge and tedious difficulty, and many developers who do understand the difference don't understand that challenge can easily turn degrade into tedious difficulty. Polymer. I will need polymers for that. Where are the polymers? I guess I don't have a workshop here. Are they stuck? God damn it! They're not very smart. They're taking the wrong road. Because the correct road is here. Here. You go up here! This fucking retards don't get it. You go up here. Deliver the goods. And move on. You know what? I'm getting rid of this one. I'm getting rid of this one. This one is useless. This one is useless. So I will go grab the polymers instead. Because fuck it, man. I mean, they are stupid. They don't get it. They are going in the wrong direction. There is only one direction. Pun intended, by the way. If you ask, was that a pun? Intended. Yes, intended. Absolutely intended. Alright. Where do we put this? Yeah. For now, we don't need it. Well, I want to make bread for them, but for now, we don't need it. As I was saying, the game is mostly complete. There could be some improvements to the artificial intelligence, the character AI, as I have seen now. But it's not a bad game, and it's not, and this is an important part, it's not incomplete. The whole narrative of Palworld is incomplete. It's coming from people who just want the game to fail. Because they are angry about Palworld making Pokemon look bad. Don't worry, Nintendo doesn't need help to look bad. Not anymore. There was a time when Nintendo was awesome. I'm not going to pretend there was no such thing. There was a time when Nintendo was awesome. When you could be proud of playing Nintendo games. That time is gone. That era is over, man. It died. And it's thanks to DI and censorship. There was a time when Pokemon was awesome. The last time it was awesome was Black and White. The last great Pokemon game. I loved it. It was excellent. But diversity hires got in. Everyone who says that's not true, that Nintendo didn't go woke, should be looking at the latest Tomodachi Life release. Should be looking at the Sex Pests. Yeah, that thing is a bit annoying that it's protruding there, but it's fine. It's fine. We'll live with that. Doesn't affect the interior design, which is what matters. They should be looking at what Nintendo has been releasing ever since 20, 2018, 2019, and it has been gradually getting worse, and it's been gradually getting more and more politically inclined to the left. And the announcement of Tomodachi Life, with the pronouns and all that shit. Alright, it was gender, I don't remember, but all that shit. And their current America CEO. Nintendo of America is fully infested, and Nintendo of Japan is influenced. So yeah, it's lost. And the visual quality, and that's another part. The visual quality of new Pokemon games. It sucks. It sucks. I know there are people who like them, who still like them. I have no problem with that. You can like them. Not my problem. I'm not saying, oh, if you like the new Pokemon games, you are a left-wing activist and you are evil. No, I'm saying I can see the obvious ideological infestation. I don't like it. I can see the bugged. I can see the obvious political content, and I can see the obvious ugly designs, and I don't like them. I have no problem with people liking them. There are some designs that are good, like for example this character. I think it was called in Japanese Nanjamo, which is a Pokemon streamer. She's cute. She's cute. I would consider her a waifu if I played the game, but I didn't play the game. I didn't care about the game. And the anime kinda caught my attention because they removed Ash. Satoshi, in Japanese, mind you. I hate Satoshi as a protagonist. I hated him. He was annoying. I found him extremely annoying. But just because you give me a lolly, that doesn't mean I will continue supporting you. Not after what you did to Pocket Bear. The lawsuit to me was the lawsuit against Pocket Bear was to me the last straw with Nintendo in general. And looking at their new releases doesn't make me even consider changing my mind at all. That's the thing. I'm not saying, oh, I will never change my mind. I am steadfast in my position, and I will fight back if need be. No, I'm saying you're not giving me reasons to forgive. That new Metroid game looked terrible in terms of writing and in terms of new character design. Samus was fine because they didn't ruin the design. Fortunately, they didn't listen to that idiot who said Samus is trans, but Samus is not the only character there. And the new characters are awful in terms of design, in terms of writing. They are annoying. There is, of course, the very justified argument, mind you, of they are woke characters. And it is a justified argument because, yeah, you can tell when there is millennial writing involved. But that's not the only problem with them. That's the thing. That's not the only problem with them. They are just annoying. That's the real problem with them. They are just plain annoying, unlikable. Bad characters in general. They are bad characters because they are annoying, because they are not likable, because they are boring characters, because they basically have no redeeming qualities as characters. Not that they are characters who are portrayed as malignant with no redeeming qualities, but as in these characters are so fucking unlikable. You don't even want to protect them. And there were some problems with the writing in terms of Samus, how she was portrayed, in ways that were extremely at odds with her canon portrayal in previous games. Basically, she was not acting the way she would, but the way some um, Western fanfic writer would want her to act. Here's the fun part. There is this problem with the way the West understands Samus as a character. The West doesn't understand her as a character. That's something I am adamant on saying. The West doesn't understand Samus as a character. They have this idea of her as cold, stoic, and silent, when in actuality she's a normal woman who is just half alien and who doesn't talk because she doesn't have who to talk to. But you can tell, yeah, from mostly Super Metroid and from Metroid Fusion that Samus is actually quite sensitive. And I am not saying it as sensitive as a bleeding heart leftist. I'm saying it as she cares for the baby Metroid. She cares for the humans she interacts with. She does have, justifiably so, trauma over her parents dying at the hands of Ridley, and people have misinterpreted her in Other M. That's why the West hates Other M, while Japan liked it. The West treats Other M as if it was a distortion of Samus, but it's actually her real personality. That's the complicated part. It's not that Samus is portrayed wrong in Other M. It's not portrayed as what the West understands her as. But if you have seen how Japan portrayed her, you will understand that the portrayal of Samus in Other M is the most canon accurate portrayal possible. She does act the way she acts in Other M. She is sensitive, she's humane, she's not a ruthless mercenary. She's a brave mercenary, but not a ruthless one, and she's mostly a bounty hunter and an enemy of the space pirates because, well, they killed her family. If you lost your family at the hands of a mutant pterodactyl with mental retardation, yeah, you will be heavily traumatized too. That's how I put it. If you lost your parents at the hands of a pterodactyl with mental retardation and constant cloning, you will be mentally damaged too. But jokes aside about Samus and her past, the thing is she freezes because many say, oh, but she shouldn't have frozen in that part when in Other M when she panics because she freezes because she realizes two things. First of all, the fluffy little thing she was protecting was her most perpetual enemy because it was Ridley, who somehow manages to keep the memories of every instance of Ridley after being cloned. So basically, the thing was tricking her into helping. That's horrible. That's disturbing. No joke. Imagine your worst enemy manages to change appearance by dying, mind you, and pretends to be this cute and friendly thing, guy, whatever, to manipulate you into helping him. Your most despised perpetual enemy has figured how to trick you into helping him by putting on a mask and pretending to be harmless. And then it goes mask off. And then all of a sudden, right when you are at your weakest, the fucker goes mask off. You will be disturbed. And to worsen it, because it gets worse. It always can get worse, it seems. To worsen it, you are at a disadvantage. Of course you will panic. Of course you will panic. And of course you will have flashbacks, because people say, oh, but why is she having flashbacks of when she... Of course you will have flashbacks when your encounters with your enemy have always been traumatizing. And this time he was supposed to be dead? Ridley was supposed to be dead and the fucker didn't stay dead? We'll have to break this. I hate having to break things. I hate breaking things. Unlike Microsoft, I hate breaking the things I built. Anyway, as I was saying, of course you would be traumatized. You realized suddenly that your most detested enemy just tricked you into helping, into following his agenda. Yeah, you will be traumatized. You will be shocked and terrified and disgusted. And if you are basically under attack, you will also be, well, panicking. Because people say, oh, but she shouldn't be panicking, it wasn't a big deal. Yeah, right. The guy who killed your parents is still alive. How many times do you need to kill that fucker? Oh, but you shouldn't panic. No. You are tough and relentless and brave and powerful. You shouldn't panic. Are you stupid? Do you see how stupid you are? That's the thing. I don't see the situation with anyway. There, fix it. I mean that's the situation. People don't understand how stupid they are. They take it as Samus was inconsistent with her character. I don't know why they made Cecilia so remarkably phallic. It even has a pink tip. As I was saying, it's not that she was inconsistent with her character. She was very consistent with her character. But in a way that Americans don't understand or don't want to. The Westerners in general don't want to understand. Because feminism paints that as negative. That's the thing. They have basically deluded themselves into thinking she was basically turning into a damsel in distress. No, she was objectively and justifiably traumatized by the situation. She was disturbed by the situation. And she was angry. She didn't freeze because she was literally shaking in fear. No, she was extremely disturbed and angry. Because she realized she had been tricked by her worst fucking enemy into helping it. I would be traumatized too. There are people I absolutely hate. And if I realized I saved their lives, I would be extremely distraught too. I would be like, what the fuck did I just do? What have I fucking done? I doomed us all. So yeah, the whole she was miswritten. No, you misinterpreted her. That doesn't mean Other M was perfect. I think it had defects. The defects came from having to put it, having to do mental gymnastics to justify certain actions and certain decisions. For example, the whole thing about Samus being effectively nerfed. She had to be nerfed. And to explain that, to justify that, they made this whole plot point about how she... Stop trying to get from there. Let's see. I can fix it. I can fix anything and everything. Here. There. This should make a simpler, easier road. And if they insist on not following it, they are fucking stupid. See? That's how you do it! Fucking idiot! They had to nerf her. That's true. They had to nerf her. And they had to. I'm not saying it as a complaint. I'm saying it as a fact. They had to nerf her because she was too overpowered. And she was basically beating the crap out of everything. She was fully upgraded. So, to fix that... God damn it, this thing is big. So big, it won't fit anywhere. That's what she said. As I was saying, they had to nerf her. They had to make her less powerful. Because fully upgraded Samus is basically one of the strongest Nintendo characters in history. I'm not exaggerating, she's one of the strongest Nintendo characters ever written. And that was a problem. Fully upgraded Samus is basically invincible compared to other Nintendo characters. She's on a cosmic scale, objectively speaking, at this point. Because after Dread, she really enters a cosmic scale. Like, she basically becomes unstoppable, powerful, a perfect power fantasy for women, and a perfect wife for men. Men like her that way too. That's an important thing to point out. Men have no issue with Samus being basically one of the strongest Nintendo characters. Because she's cool, because she's pretty, and she's likable. Because as I said, she's not a machine. She's not a machine, a warrior machine. She's a person. She's a woman. An attractive woman, by the way. And I will emphasize that because it is culturally important. An attractive woman. A likable woman. Who happens to be more than just a human. Who was granted the the power of an ancient civilization. And uses it to do what she believes in. Killing space pirates. Let's all agree that the space pirates suck. That's for certain. The space pirates suck. And she kills them. She hunts them. She fights them. She's one of the good guys. The thing is, she's not this cold, heartless machine. She's a normal... In terms of mind, a normal woman who happens to be blessed through technology with the abilities of an ancient civilization. She's not weak, she's not soft, but she's also not made of stone. She's also not one of these hard-boiled characters. She's capable of emotion and is allowed to be extremely emotional. She's not Robocop, who is... there is nothing bad with being Robocop. Robocop is cool. But Robocop is more serious, is more formal, and is less emotional because he was already very self-restrained in emotion by need and will when he was human. Basically because he needs to control his feelings because of his job and because of basically being a pillar of society. Samus doesn't like to be like that. In fact, this heavily implied that one of the reasons she left the Federation was because they were too strict, and she basically wanted to do as she pleased. She's not this disciplined soldier. She's a bounty huntress. She's a bounty huntress who is more motivated by revenge than you think. And as I said, when your revenge is fucked and you realize you helped your enemy, yeah, that's bound to shock you emotionally. That's bound to traumatize you. So that's why I understand why they decided to portray her like that in Other M. She's also extremely emotional after literally seeing her adopted pet, child, whatever, die, sacrificing itself to save her. So yeah, she wasn't in the best condition. And as I said, also there is this part where many complain because as I said the game had to nerf her. I don't think that was a defect, but fortunately the writing helped kind of balance it. But yeah, I understand why people complain about that because yeah, the whole thing about having her abilities locked has always been a bit of a problem to me. But here, it's not that the problem wasn't there before. It became more obvious that there was a problem. Because most people basically were like, oh yeah, there is always an explanation of why she loses her abilities. Metroid ate them, she crashed her ship and her armor got in repair mode and erased everything. I don't know. The ex-parasite stole her abilities and she needs to recover them. There is always an excuse of why her abilities are absent against her will. And that's the problem with Other M. They didn't have that. Because she was fully powered, she had just a few days ago defeated Mother Brain. And now they needed to nerf her again. And she was in a mission with a full team and all that. And that's where the problem begins, because the lore explanation for the nerf was basically the Federation sucks. The Federation sucks. That was the lore explanation, the lore justification. The Federation sucks. And many people didn't like that because, yeah, objectively, if you... basically, it's a Japanese thing too. But this one is like one of the problems with Japan from the perspective of outsiders. From the perspective of outsiders, it's a problem, that's the thing. That is reverence and deference to authority and leadership. She was, and especially to the employers. She was under, at that moment, she was working under commission to the Federation. That's the thing. She was working under commission to the Federation. And the Federation ordered her to nerf herself, and instead of saying, you know what, that's retarded, she's working in the Japanese mindset of the employer asked me to nerf myself, I'll nerf myself. Those are the employer's orders. They are paying me to do it. That's the problem. From the perspective of the Western mindset, that's retarded. That's like, what? You are at full power and you just because some guy in a suit ordered you, you are going to basically nerf yourself? Yeah, to the West, that's unreasonable. But to Japan, that's logical. That's discipline. It's in their culture. And I'm not attacking their culture. I'm saying that's something the West can't fully understand. They have a hard time understanding the idea that that someone is willing to do exactly as the contractors demanded them. That's the thing. That someone is willing to do exactly as the contractors demanded them, because they are the ones that pay, they are the ones signing the paychecks, and you obey the guy signing the paychecks. You don't complain, you do exactly as the guy ordered. Because you are getting paid. You are not getting paid for complaining and refusing to obey orders. You are getting paid for compliance, so start complying. That's something the Western mindset struggles with, because of the perspective of the West. And I'm not saying I'm not saying one is better than the other. Sincerely, I think both need balance, and both have positives and negatives. I think it is great that the average Japanese employee is so respectful to the employer, but I think it's good that the average Western employee is capable of stopping and questioning the employer and saying, no, 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 this is stupid, boss. This is retarded. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. If you want me to do this, you're retarded too. I think it's good to have a balance between both. I think it's reasonable to have a balance between both. But from the Japanese perspective, mm, having a balance between both amounts to insubordination. And we all know Japanese people don't like insubordination at all. Also, it is the army. The army are her contractors, and in the army, even in the West, if an idiot says so, you can question, you can refuse, but you risk being declared as insubordinate and getting in trouble. So it's better to just say, yes, boss. If they are paying you, it's better to say, fine, boss. Yes, boss. You're a fucking idiot, boss. But yes. So basically, it's because people don't expect this superhuman, near divine champion to be commandeered around by basically idiots with uniforms. And now there is also the important part that the unit she was working with is a unit she respects. The idiots in uniforms are the ones above them. Are the ones really calling the shots. But that's the thing. Basically, Other M is a massive cultural clash. That's it. That's my point. Other M is a massive cultural clash where you basically say like, I don't get it. Yeah, because it's not your culture. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't readjust to your culture. There were also some problems with some details being altered in localization, which didn't help either. Basically, Other M isn't perfect, but it's a good game. I really liked it. Many say it's the worst Metroid game. No, no, no. There was this Federation Force game which didn't even have Samus and which basically fucked the lore up. There is this new Prime game. Those are worse. And I will be going to say something controversial, but I don't think Prime is that great. The Prime series in general, I don't think it's that great either. It's controversial, I know. You will be offended. You will even try to defame me for saying this, but I think the Prime series was Nintendo's attempt at making a Halo killer, and I don't say it's a bad game. Well, I say it's not better than Other M. And I know people won't like it when I say that, but I think that's true. I'm not saying I'm objectively right, mind you. I am open to admit if I am proven wrong. But I think Metroid, as a first-person shooter, is not Metroid. And that's why I think it's worse than Other M. As I said, I'm extremely open to admit if I am proven objectively wrong. But that's my stance until then. I don't say I'm objectively right. I'm not saying I am unquestionable and that if you disagree with me, you are wrong. No, that's my position. I am willing to change my mind. Now, I will also admit, because of multiple circumstances, I haven't played the Prime games yet. So maybe after playing them, I change my mind. But until then, yeah, I think Other M is better than Prime games. Particularly because I did bother buying Other M, and I didn't buy the Prime games. I didn't bother with them because they were first-person shooters. I don't like first-person shooters that much. I don't hate them, I don't dislike them. I own plenty. In fact, I was playing Robocop Road City, which was a first-person shooter. No wonder why I mentioned Robocop. I have the character fresh in my memory. But first-person shooters are not my main style. That's the thing. Okay, this is an entrance. They aren't always open, but they are in specific places. They sometimes open, so let's mark it on the map. I'm not, as I said, I'm not saying I hate first-person shooters. I'm just saying they are not my preferred genre. So maybe that's why I have this bias. But the thing is, I really think Other M is better. And it's controversial. I know it's controversial. But we can all agree that Federation Force sucks and Other M is absolutely better. And that the latest Prime game ruined the series and Other M is better. Or at least I hope we can agree on that. Because if we can't agree on that, is there anything we can agree on? What the hell is that? Ah! What the fuck? Let's keep her busy with those guys while I collect this. I can't believe I don't know what is this. Alright, I don't know what it is, but rather I don't know what it is good for, but let's gather as much as possible. Probably will need it later. And let's put it on the map, because we found it here. Maybe it won't be there the next time I arrived, but at least that way I increase the chances of finding it. So I was saying, the new Metroid Prime game really was wrong. Why? Because Samus did act out of character in this one. As I said, in Other M, contrary to the opinion of the majority, I think Samus did act in character. Well, in this new Metroid Prime, she was made a weak coward. Because everyone was a weak coward, and they had to make her... They couldn't allow the weak cowards to look that much as weak cowards compared to her. So they had to nerf her personality and not her abilities. That's the problem. But well, that's the problem. That's the problem with Nintendo. They keep getting gradually worse, and that's why now they are desperately trying to ruin all potential competitors because the competitors are better. Basically, it's not that Palworld is bad. It's that Nintendo has lost the touch, and they need to make Palworld look bad, and they can't. So they started suing them. Because, and this is a reality, they got confident on the idea of suing Pocket Bear. Pocket Pair became a threat, an inconvenience to them. I think I know what. Pocket Pair became an inconvenience to them. It became a threat because it was better than their current Pokemon releases. But I don't think Nintendo is exclusively at fault in that regard. I think if Nintendo fans weren't so fucking stupid and so fucking belligerent, Nintendo wouldn't have gotten so confident at the idea of destroying a competitor. The thing is, Nintendo fans started this whole how do I say it, litany of falsehoods, claiming that Pocket Pair plagiarized Pokemon, that they stole gameplay mechanics. You shouldn't even be patenting gameplay mechanics, to be honest. That's something I have already talked about. That they that they plagiarized designs, which was proven false. That they used AI to create the designs, also proven false. That they used 3D models and edited them, also proven false. As I said, a litany of falsehoods, which made Nintendo get really confident on the idea of suing Pocket Pair, of destroying Pocket Pair, because they basically thought, I can get away with this. Nobody will say, wait, no, this is wrong. Everybody will support me, because they are already asking me to do it. That's the thing. Headshot! They're already getting confident with it, because they are getting confident with it because their fans are already demanding them to do it. Destroy Pocket Pair, destroy these imitators. Nintendo fans are fucking annoying and stupid, first of all. And Pokemon fans not only have really low standards, they are also the most bootlicking of all Nintendo fans. And in general, the most bootlicking gamers I have seen. They will forgive Pokemon for anything. Bad quality? Forgiven. The game is full of bugs? Forgiven. The game looks bad? Forgiven. Why? Because it's Pokemon. And you don't attack Pokemon. Because it's your childhood. Because you care. Because you love. All those stupid ideas that I have seen even before Palworld released. I have seen as excuse for tolerating the disaster that is what is that thing here? That is the new Pokemon. Because let's not forget that Nintendo had released bad Pokemon games before Palworld came out. Palworld is not the problem here. It's Nintendo. But Nintendo fans and particularly Pokemon fans, they don't want to acknowledge that reality. It's a reality that destroys their self-identity to some extent, because they build their personality around being fans. And basically to them saying, no, this company is no longer what I liked. It's unthinkable. It's unacceptable. It's scary even. But since I don't have those feelings, because I am nearly immune to nostalgia, not entirely immune, for example, when I remember some things, like the birth of one of my cats, that generates me nostalgia. I am not entirely immune, but since I am nearly immune to nostalgia, I don't get mind broken when when something When something changes for the worst, and I need to turn my back on it, I'm okay with that. I can live with that. Right? Watch my back there. Watch my back there while I focus on this. Make sure there are no distractions while I'm fishing. One thing I hate about fishing games is when there can be enemies nearby. Fishing minigames. When there can be enemies nearby and they can interrupt your fishing. Fucking shit, man. Fucking shit. As I was saying, I hate that. It happened to me in Warframe too. It really annoys me. It really annoys me when a fucking random NPC can show up and ruin your fishing. Fucking I hate them. Those guys in particular, I really hate them. They are extremely annoying. They show up at the worst possible moments and they have incredible reach and aim. Their weapons are better than yours. I don't know how, but their weapons are objectively better than yours. Just by measure of how good they are at aiming and reaching. Basically, they can fire at you like they are carrying fucking snipers with with semi-automatic or automatic weapons. I mean, automatic weapons is worse because, generally speaking, in video games, the recoil of automatic weapons is so fucking ridiculous. The accuracy of automatic weapons is so fucking stupid. It sucks. I know it's to nerf them. I know it's to balance them with with other weapons, but the automatic weapons are always terrible in terms of accuracy. In all games. I haven't tried really in Palworld because I don't like firearms in this game that much. Because of the ammo consumption. But because each one has different ammunition, that bothers me. And also the automatic ones seem to be rather weak. But these guys, they basically have perfect weapons. Their weapons are better than yours. I don't know why, I don't know how, and I don't like it. Most importantly, I don't like it. It bothers me a lot. But it is how it is. And I get to live with that reality. There they are again, those fuckers. They have better weapons than yours, but c'est la vie. C'est la vie, that's how it is. Getting angry won't get us anywhere. But the thing is, as I was saying, Nintendo did this to themselves. The problem with Palworld, Nintendo brought it to themselves. Okay, let's see. How many? Okay. Let's try to find where to build it. Indoors or outdoors? Outdoors. It will have to be outdoors. Alright. Let's see. Nope. Let's put this here. Let's break this here. Right. Alright. Let's see. Right. We put this here. Right. Since we are here. And the statue. Well, let's wait for them to finish building. It will go here. Let's help them. Unfortunately, you can't have this one indoors. But it looks pretty this way. Let's be honest, it looks really pretty this way. And let's see what you can cook with it. If you can make pizza with this one, because there is one indoors which you can make pizza with. If you can make pizza with this one, I am totally making pizza. Yes, because it looks like a stone oven. Let's see. What do we have here? There it is! See that? I'm totally making pizza because it looks like a stone oven. And I have a thing for stone oven made pizzas, by the way. I really have a soft spot for them emotionally. I know that sounds ridiculous, I know that sounds childish, but I really like stone oven pizzas. And I won't say which pizza is better. I won't even attack people who like pineapple in pizza. But stone oven pizzas are great, and if you haven't tried one, you are missing out. I repeat, I won't say which is better. I won't show up and say, oh no, you are wrong if you don't like the stone oven pizza, or you are wrong if you don't like this or that, or you are evil if you like pineapple in pizza. No. But if you basically, if you think stone oven pizzas are bad, you don't have good taste. That's the thing. Stone oven pizzas are good. If you think otherwise, you have poor taste. It's not that you're a bad person or anything, but you haven't tried them, or you can't process them mentally. Physically, you can. I mean, you're not going to die eating them. I doubt so. I can't imagine someone dying after eating a stone oven pizza, unless that person also can die after eating any other pizza. But if you say stone oven pizzas are bad, you are wrong. You are objectively wrong. And this one I am going to say I'm objectively right. Stone oven pizzas are great. I love them. I won't say which is better. I have tried many styles of pizza. I have tried deep dish pizza. Not my favorite, to be honest. But also not awful. That's important. Not my favorite. But people who say it is bad, it is awful, they are lying or exaggerating. Your choice. Lying or exaggerating. But they are not. They are objectively wrong and objectively untrue. And the stone oven pizzas are really good, are really tasty, and the texture is different, and it's a whole nother experience, and a whole nice new experience. They are worth giving a shot. That's for sure. Okay, what does it see here? You can use up to 10. Alright. And let's see where it throws me. A known place. A known place. Thank you. A place I can go to from here to here. Thank you. Stone oven pizzas are good. I really like them. I have tried them. I really like them. There was a place that sold, and they were Italian style. The guy was the owner was Italian. Here in my neighborhood. That's funny. Here in my neighborhood, this pizza place that was owned by an Italian guy, and it made stone oven pizzas, and they were excellent. And then the Italian guy left. I don't know what happened, but he left. And they changed the cook, and the style changed, the technique changed. They still use the stone oven, which benefited the taste. They still use the stone oven, but the technique got worse. The quality of the pizzas got worse. And then they went broke. No, not kidding. They went broke after that. The quality changed, the taste changed, everything changed, and then they went broke. The pizzeria closed. First they moved. That's also something worth remembering. First they moved to another location in the same city, but in another neighborhood. First they moved. They left basically. And after moving, the quality really got worse. And again, I mean, the quality had already descended notably. And when they moved, it got worse again. And then they went broke. You don't keep the quality of your business, you are fucked long term. You're fucked. Long term, you're fucked. And that's what happened to those guys. And the Italian guy, well, I guess he moved on with his life. Never saw him again. I hope he's doing fine. Not just fine. I hope he's doing great. Because his pizzas were great. He deserved better. He deserved better because I bet something bad happened to him that made him need to or want to leave. But I hope things get better because he really deserved better. He really was a great chef. He really was talented. I'll miss his pizzas. The quality was top notch, to put it bluntly. Excellent, delicious pizzas. Oh, the there was one with eggplant. Delightful. Truly delightful. And it was one of the few pizzerias that do make a margarita pizza. Delightful too. And of course, more commercially popular ones like Hawaiian, pepperoni, here in Mexico, chilorio. God damn it, chilorio pizzas. If you go to Mexico, or you find a place probably in the south of the US, where you can find chilorio pizzas, and you tolerate barely spicy food. It's not very spicy. It's barely spicy, like Taco Bell spicy. Try it. Unless the pizzas themselves of that place are bad, you will get a delicious pizza. I promise. I promise. Chilorio pizzas are great. Are great. My favorite will always be pepperoni. But basically, first place pepperoni. Second place contested between second and third, basically, because of course the winner gets the second place and the other the third. Second and third place contested between oh god fucking shit, it's there. I hope they don't find me. I hope they don't notice me while I'm doing my my thing here. But first, let's kill those fuckers. They are extremely annoying when you don't kill them first. As I was saying, see that? The aim is terrible, and the other guys have perfect accuracy. Run, motherfucker! Run! It's the first time they don't attack me unprovoked. The first time I decide to take the initiative and kill them, they don't attack me unprovoked. So I was saying, there it is. This fucking asshole. That's why I killed the other guys. I was going to let you run. I was giving you a chance to survive, motherfucker. You squandered it like a fucking idiot. So I was saying, there. Pump action shotgun. So I was saying, second and third place would be cheese blends and chilorio. And cheese blends, I'm not talking about any kind of blend. No. High quality blends. 4 cheese, three cheese, but with combinations of high quality, like I don't know, mozzarella and provolone, and uh, for example, goat cheese, gorgonzola, parmigiano. Those are the good combinations. Smoked provolone, man. That thing is in a pizza. Delicious. The smoked flavor is the best. It makes you cry of how good it is. And the worst I don't know. I really don't like Hawaiian pizza because I don't like processed ham. Here's the part. Pineapple is not the problem. I don't like processed ham, but I have tried al pastor pizza. Al pastor is a type of meat which is basically Mexican kebab meat. It did originate from imitating the style of kebab with with the vertical speed and all, but it's very different to kebab because of the spices it uses. It's really tasty and it goes well with pineapple. If you put al pastor meat with pineapple on a pizza, it's good. The pineapple actually works great because, in fact, pineapple is part of the ingredients of the al pastor marinade. This is important. The al pastor marinade uses pineapple, which basically makes you, damn it, makes the combination excellent. Specifically because it basically exists for that combination because of the, as I said, because the al pastor marinade uses pineapple juice or orange juice. It's important. It can be either of those. It uses pineapple juice or orange juice. As a result, as a result, it makes the combination extremely tasty. It's good. It's good. I swear it's good. Uh, you don't need to believe me if you don't want to. I'm not forcing you to believe me. You can still think pineapple in pizza is disgusting. You are entitled to think that. It's your right. But I disagree with you and I don't believe you because I have tried al pastor pizza. Pineapple in pizza is not a problem. It's not the problem with Hawaiian pizza. The problem with Hawaiian pizza is the processed ham. So I don't really know which is the worst. That's my point. I don't know which is the worst pizza. But it probably has processed ham in it. Because processed ham is awful. Processed ham is an affront to the gods. It's an insult to all holy beings, to all faiths, to all gods, and an insult to human ingenuity. And those who created it should be put on trial for their sins and transgressions. Because what they did was absolutely immoral and unforgivable. And I hope they are remembered as the evil tyrants they are. And I hope their children are sacrificed to Cthulhu. I'm exaggerating, but I really don't like. That's the thing. I really don't like processed ham in pizza. I really don't like processed ham. You have the right to like it. I won't judge you for liking it. I think it's bad. I think it tastes bad. It has a bad texture, and it's a disgusting mockery of real ham. I have tried real ham. I have tried real ham, and it's so drastically different from processed ham in such a way that it makes you feel offended and disgusted. And that's not exaggeration to me. I objectively think processed ham is so god awful that it offends you when you have tried real ham. Real ham is absolutely different to processed ham. Real ham is a whole different thing. Many of you, unfortunately, and I pity you, probably haven't tried, and probably will never try real ham. Real ham is not that easy to come by. That's the truth. Real ham is rare here. And not just here as in Mexico. Here as in the Americas, in the whole continent. Why? Because real ham is expensive here compared to processed ham. Real ham, you find it in Spain. But in the Americas, processed ham has really a huge market share. It really puts a real ham behind, unfortunately. At least I think so. At least I think so. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But based on what I have observed, that's the case. Unfortunately, that's the case. Should I? Maybe, maybe not. I will decide later. At least I think so. At least I think that's the case. I can't really. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be just pessimistic, but I have noticed that. I have noticed that it will seem um, to be more common here than real ham. Real ham is, I don't know, less common than the fake one, than the processed one. And in Mexico specifically, real ham is expensive as fuck, and it's rare as fuck. And the best ham is all foreign. It's all imported. Which makes it really hard to find good ham in Mexico. Most people will die without ever tasting real ham here. That's sad. That's fucking sad, man. I mean, I'm not joking. That's fucking sad. Most people will literally die of old age without ever trying real ham because of both the costs and how hard it can be to find it. Most people will literally die without ever tasting real ham. It's sad. It's depressive, but it's true. It's one of the bitter truths of life, to be honest. It's horrible. It's horrible when you think about it. That it is one of those things that are so rare, that are so hard to come by. Here, specifically. That some people will die of old age before ever trying it. There are people out there who will die of old age before ever seeing real ham in Mexico. No, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to me. It's sad. It's like, dude, it's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair that something so delicious is so expensive and rare here. But unfortunately, it is how it is. Because that's life. Sometimes life really fucks you over. Sounds tempting, but nah. I will try to build it, and if I can't, I can't. C'est la vie. It's really sad. I'm serious. It's really sad that most people will never, ever get to try real ham. And most importantly, that they don't care. That they totally don't care. that they can be fine with that. That you tell them, no, you haven't tried real ham, and they will be like, and and what's the problem with not having real ham in my life? Because they can't fathom it. Because it's really beyond their imagination. It's really beyond their mental capacity to even conceive that there is something so great out there. I didn't want to have to build it, but I did. It's sad. It's sad that when you realize that there's plenty of normal people who will never, ever, as I said, try real ham, and that they probably will think to themselves, and what's the problem with that? There is nothing wrong with, to them, of course, I am not saying it as my opinion. My opinion is very different. There is nothing wrong with not knowing what real ham is like. I'm like, no dude, you're really missing out. I know you have been raised by dysgenic parents who raised you on slop, but you're really missing out. And the fact that you think there is nothing wrong with that is a testament of how fucking dysgenic your parents are. And I loathe them because they created a maladapted, uncultured pig who doesn't understand the greatness of real. I'm exaggerating. I'm exaggerating over the fact that most people here will never try real ham, but I don't think it's sad. Jokes aside, I don't think it's sad. All right, let's see. Let's see. Let's try with this. Okay. But you can't put them in. No, it's fucking useless. It's fucking useless. You can put them back in. You can take them out, but you can't put them back in. No, that's fucking useless. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't like it. I will figure what to do with that space later. But no. No, that's bad. That's bad. That's stupid. No, if you can't put them back in, that's a useless gimmick. Not a valuable not a valuable item. That's just a useless gimmick. Because I'm more likely to need something that puts them in than something that puts them out. That's not a useful item to me. Because of my method of doing things, that's useless. That sucks. So I was saying, I really feel sorry for the people who will never get to try it. And I blame in part the government. I know you will say, but Leo, you blame the government for everything. Yes, I blame in part the government. Why? Because the government has caused inflation, has caused abusive regulations, has constantly antagonized Spain. And one of the sources of real harm here is Spain. So yeah, I hold the government accountable for the lack of real harm in the life of many in my country. And I think, objectively, that if they ever tried real ham, their lives will be better. They will be happier people. They will be mentally healthier. They will be, in all senses, better. Wait a second. Wait a second. Here that comes. Wait a second. Unlike Hassan Piker, I don't shock my dog. I don't shock my cat. I don't have a dog. I have a cat. I don't shock my cat. I don't mistreat my cat. My cat is the one in charge. Unlike Hassan Piker, I would rather interrupt what I am doing for the betterment of my cat than fuck my cat over. And I don't have him as a prop in the background. He's the one in charge. He's the boss here. He's the one who eats better than I do. His food is of superior quality compared to mine. And I'm fine with that. Unlike Hassan Piker, I treat my pets better than I treat myself. I unironically treat my pets better than I treat myself. And I don't mind accepting that reality. Because I love them. I care for them. They are my priority. And I think that's the difference between me and people like Hassan Piker. I am a human. Hassan Piker is a fucking Dero. Those who don't know what Deros are, they have no idea how bad things are. Look it up. I theorize they are not like what Shaver describes. But I am certain that they exist spiritually, not materially. That they aren't creatures living underground in mystical lands. No, they are people, real people. That all those stories of horrible happenings underground with children and all that stuff, it's the real life Deros. They exist. A Shaver portrayed them in a way that is distorted because he didn't understand the evil he was facing. But Deros do exist. They are out there, and and Hassan Piker is one of them. And he's that kind of person. If you want to understand what I'm talking about regarding the Deros, think of the behavior of Hassan Piker. That's a fucking Dero. They are real. They are real people. But that's the thing, they are biologically human. Spiritually, they are something else. And I think it's a spiritual thing. And I think people like Alex Jones got it half right. Only half. That's the problem. They got it half right. But they didn't understand the implications of what they got in there, of what they saw, of what they knew, of what they learned. The implications are so disturbing, so bizarre. They are beyond their understanding of reality. And that's why they call them demons. And that's why they write stories of underground dwelling monsters who do all these horrible things. Because their understanding of these creatures goes beyond and their understanding of these creatures cannot understand the idea of biologically human spiritual abomination. That is, as I said, in body, a human being, but in soul is something else, something different, something inferior to humans, something dangerous and evil too. And that's the Deros, and that's what Hassan Piker is. His body is entirely human. He has human rights, unfortunately, but his soul is this bizarre, cruel monster thing, to put it bluntly. It's this vile, inhumane wretch with antisocial tendencies and a strong preference for cruelty. And the way he treated Kaya is a result of that. He has an inclination to cruelty. That's it. His soul is cruel by nature. He's spiritually cruel by nature. That's why he treated Kaya that way. Because he's spiritually something else. So spiritually evil. That's why I believe. That's what I believe. I believe spiritually we are not exactly the same as materially. I believe there are some people who have the soul of a god spiritually. I believe there are people who have the potential for apotheosis spiritually. I believe there are people who have the soul of something evil, something corrupt. And Hassan Piker is one of them. And these people often have deformities. And I'm talking about Hassan's small head compared to his torso. These people often have deformities. And I think it is because the spirit alters the body. I think there is truth in that evil people look ugly. There are claims that it is, and not all of them, but some of them, but evil turns you ugly. That's the thing. Evil can turn you ugly. Not guaranteed, but the chance is there. There are some theories, and there is people who have explained, for example, that it is because of mutational load that is also associated with mental illness and all that. I think it's also spiritual. I think that the spirit alters the body, and the soul of these people is so corrupt, so inherently evil, that they turn grotesque because of that. But I'm no scientist. I am also no priest, so I could be absolutely mistaken. Well, I think it's true. And until proven otherwise, I won't change my mind. I won't change my mind that Hassan Piker is a fucking detrimental robot. That's what Deros is for. That he's a fucking detrimental robot. That he's biologically human, but spiritually a monstrosity, pure evil. And that's why he supports communism, because communism is inherently evil. And that basically everything he stands for is evil. And he wants evil in the world. And the way he treats Kaya is a reflection of that. I don't think these people are evil. they have been giving me reasons to think so. Because you might say, but they say the same. Bosch and Destiny say the same of your people. Yes. The difference is I don't think they have foundations for their claim. I build my claim on what these people do. Objectively speaking, on what they do. On their actions, on their attitude, on the way they express themselves. On their tendency of wishing death to innocent people just because they don't think like them. Of their tendency of celebrating the death of a father because he doesn't think like them. I think they are evil because their actions say so, not because of their ideology. If it was because of their ideology, I could also think they are stupid. That's the thing. I'm never going to say someone who supports communism is good and intelligent at the same time. I could say they are stupid because of their ideology. But because of their behavior, I think they are evil and stupid. Most importantly, they aren't. They are not just evil. They are both evil and stupid in equal measure. And their actions are why I say that. Their actions, not their words, not their ideology, not the theory, their behavior. The way they gladly celebrate when an ideological opponent dies, the way they call for the death of their ideological opponents, the way they advocate for murdering us, the way they basically, as I don't remember the name of the guy, but as this guy said, they want you dead and rape your children, and they find it funny. I think they are evil, and I do think they are exactly what Shaver wrote about. I don't think he did so consciously though, and I do think they are what Alex Jones calls interdimensional demons. They are biologically human, but they are probably interdimensional in the sense that the soul, the spirit. I think it's part of the fourth dimension, and I think they are a fourth dimensional evil that basically they are evil souls, evil human souls. Most importantly, they are still human. That's the thing I must emphasize. I sometimes say they are not human because I don't consider them humane. And what I say is they lost their humanity by their inhumane actions. They are not morally human to me. They are biologically human to me. And that's important. Why? Because the law will demand you to not kill them because of that. First of all, they are biologically human. But in terms of spirituality, in terms of soul, and in terms of worth, they are something else. Something evil. Something, in fact, so evil that we struggle to understand it. That's why we call it different things. That's why we put it names like interdimensional demons, detrimental robots, of human cultists. Because we can't process that something that is of the same species as we are is so drastically different in terms of spirituality, in terms of morality, that is so fucking vile and malignant, that it acts inhumane, that is cruel and vile, and it finds it funny when you are suffering, when the innocent are suffering. We struggle to imagine that something that finds it funny to rape children, to engage in cannibalism, to murder its own relatives, will be the same species as us. And that's the important thing. I find it hard to imagine what is happening. It's real and it's here. And some of these people are probably people you know. They could be people you know. And I think they are different from for example, from the mentally ill. This is another thing, and I will say something controversial here. I don't think for example, all pedophiles, specifically those who haven't committed a crime yet, are like these people. They are mentally ill, and they do need to be treated. This is important. They are mentally ill, and they do need treatment. They do need to be taken to a clinical facility to get treated. But before they have committed any crime, specifically before they have harmed a child directly, they can still get mental treatment and prevented from becoming a threat to society, from doing something harmful to children, and something that will ruin their own lives. I think when they cross the line is when it's too late for them. When they have lost their humanity. That's the thing. Actions, not thoughts, not words, are what makes someone stop being human. That's my point. It's not thought, it's not words, it's actions. And actions sometimes do include words, in the sense that when they basically start outwardly expressing intent of harm, and glee at harm, that's when the words become actions. That's when, for example, when Destiny is celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, when Hassan Piker is celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, that's when words become actions. Why? Because the action is the word. Because the word is the celebration of harm, and the action is the celebration of harm. And that's the thing. Actions and not words are what I think is what makes one lose humanity. These people, as I said, who are mentally ill, who have a problem in their minds, who have basically, oh fuck, I pressed the wrong button, who are mentally ill, who have a problem in their minds, they haven't lost all their humanity yet, but they are at risk of their thoughts, their words becoming actions, and that's why before that happens, they need to get treatment. And there are organizations who dedicate to that, to get them into treatment before they turn, basically, before they turn. And that's the thing. Before they turn, they need to get treatment, they need to get help. And the people who basically say no, they need a special, they need special rights, they are evil. That's the thing. The people who advocate for letting them do as their worst impulses say, the people who advocate for letting them turn, basically, those people are absolutely fucking evil. The people who basically say, oh yeah, we should let them commit these crimes, you know what I'm talking about, those people are evil. Those people are absolutely evil. Because they are fine with, what the fuck, with doing something that is harmful. They are promoting doing something that is harmful. When you promote harm, that's when I think you cross the line between action and thought and opinion. When you advocate for harm purposefully, not naively, not being an idiot who thinks it's not harmful, who thinks it could be good, no. When you knowingly advocate for harm, or even say things that are, there is no way that is not harm, like calling for the murder of innocents, that's when you turn. That's when you turn. And when you turn, you stop being human. So, if you want to stay human, you can't let that kind of advocacy enter your mind. You can't let that become a part of you. And that's why what made Destiny and Hassan stop being human. Because they allowed that inhumane perspective into their hearts. They welcomed that inhumane perspective to their soul. They embraced the evil inside themselves. That's the thing. I think most humans are not inherently good or inherently evil and have the potential for both. And it is when you let the potential for evil win that you stop being human. When you let the potential for evil become your core personality, you lose your humanity to it. You stop being you. When you let evil become part of your main personality, and that's what happened. That's what happened with Hassan. That's what happened with Destiny. They basically said, yeah, let's become evil. Let's embrace it. Let's become one with the evil. That's what I say. Why I say, no, pedophiles aren't precisely like that. They aren't consciously embracing evil. They are fucked up in the head. I'm not saying that. They have a mental illness, but until they act upon it, they haven't become evil yet. Then you have people like Kyle Carroza that they do act upon it, and they become evil. That's the thing. When you let the evil thoughts in your head, the pathological thoughts in your head, the harmful thoughts in your head, the cruel thoughts in your head become you, you turn. You stop being human. And that's something many people have to deal with. The fact that they have this potential for evil inside of them. Violent tendencies. Um, Murderous, schizophrenic tendencies. No joke. Um, Addiction tendencies. These people have to fight with the risk of losing their humanity constantly. Unfortunately, a fair amount of them win against that evil, against the evil inside of themselves. It's a constant battle. You're not once you stop caring about holding back that those intrusive thoughts inside of you. Once you embrace those intrusive thoughts inside of you instead of holding them back, of saying, you know what, I am not going to become this. That's when you turn. That's when you embrace the evil. When you don't resist it, if it's inside of you. I do think there are people who don't have it, but as someone who deals with his violent inclinations constantly, who, fortunately, I am conscious enough to not become a murderer. I know it's not something you want to face. When you have the intrusive thought of pushing someone over a bridge because he annoyed you, and both of you are in a bridge. And that happened to me. When you are so annoyed at someone, you consider smashing his head against a wall until he stops moving. You need to hold that thought back. You need to control that. You need to fight back against that urge. And as I said, fortunately, most people, most normal people, most healthy people defeat that thought. It doesn't become part of them. It just becomes this this funny thing they imagine in their head. They are sitting there imagining how they smash the skull of their employer until the guy stops moving. Then laugh and say, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Those are normal people. Those are people like you and me. But then there is that one guy. That one guy who breaks. And suddenly starts killing his co-workers. Yeah, that guy turned. The guy who goes postal is the guy who turned. And it can happen to anyone. And it could happen to you. That's the scariest part. It could happen to you. It could happen to you before you even notice. You could be sitting there one day, get hit in the head. The next day you have a psychotic break and kill your children. And there is even a myth about that, the myth of Heracles. He did that. It's horrible to think about it. That you can lose your humanity in a blink by acting on impulse. And that there are people out there who, instead of saying, yeah, we shouldn't let that happen, there are people out there who, instead of rejecting that that corruptive transformation of their inner self, to embrace it. Now they say being evil is cool. They start forming gangs. They start committing crimes, and they don't care. But well, this thing has 2 hours of recording, and that's it. And also, things got a bit serious, so let's finish it here. Have a nice day.